Director of Kingdom Kids from Spirit of Faith Family Church. Here with me, I have my son Isaac and Sammy and their friends Emmanuel and Faith. And today, we're going to talk about obeying God and following God's directions.
That's Jonah.
That's Jesus. And why is it important to listen to directions? Who knows?
Because you have to listen to God.
You have to listen to God. What about mommies and daddies? Do we have to listen to our mommies and daddies?
Yes.
We have to listen to grandpas and grandmas, mommies and daddies, and our teachers. You know, God gave us...
And our friends.
God gave us our mommies and our daddies and our teachers so they could all teach us how to listen to, really, so we can listen to God. You know that God tells us what to do in the Bible?
Yeah.
There's a great story. It's one of Isaac's favorite in the Bible about Jonah. Should we read a little bit?
Yeah.
In the Bible, God told Jonah to go to Nineveh.
That's a bad place.
Well, Nineveh had some problems, and Jonah didn't want to go to Nineveh.
He had fish flappers.
Yes, they were doing things they weren't supposed to. And God needed somebody to go there and talk to them because they were doing things that were wrong. So he was telling Jonah, because Jonah was a prophet, and he told him to go to Nineveh. He told them to stop, go tell them to stop their evil ways because they were doing things they weren't supposed to.
What was it? Is he Jonah?
That's Jonah, yeah.
With the blue shirt.
And so, but Jonah didn't want to go to Nineveh. And so he went and got on a boat. And do you know where he went?
Where?
He went the opposite direction of Nineveh because he wanted to go as far away from Nineveh as he could. Is that doing what God told him to do?
No, he was just going to the place where Nineveh was.
Yes, he wasn't going to that place. He was going the wrong way.
What was it?
And you know what happened? When he got on that ship, there was a big storm. Yes, and the ship was rocking back and forth. And the people on the ship, they realized somebody's on the ship that must have disobeyed God. And we got to figure out who it is. They told Jonah, pray to God, and maybe he will save us. And you know what? Jonah knew he had disobeyed God. And he knew, if I get off of this ship, it'll be okay. So, does anybody know what Jonah did?
He jumped in the sea.
He jumped in the sea.
Yes, he rode him. So the sailors threw him off the boat.
The sailors threw him off the boat.
And he got him with a belly.
Oh, you're getting ahead of me. Because if you jump in the sea, in the middle of the sea, you're probably going to drown.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not good.
Water's yucky.
Yeah, that water is yucky. And so it looked like that was the end. It looked like maybe Jonah wasn't going to make it. But God was merciful, and he sent, like Isaac said, a big whale. Yes, that big whale just gobbled him up, and then he was in the whale's belly.
And then when he spit him out, he was at Nineveh.
Well, we're almost there. Hold on, Faithy. Okay, so he was in the fish's belly. Do you know how long he was in the fish's belly?
3 days and 3 nights.
3 days and 3 nights. That's a long time. And do you know why it took him that long? Why was he in there for 3 days and 3 nights?
Because he threw him off the boat.
Yes, and he had to figure out that he needed to obey God. And it took him 3 days to figure out he needed to go to Nineveh like God told him to. And so he prayed. See Jonah praying? That's in the fish's belly. He prayed and he asked God to help him. And he decided, okay.
In the belly.
I know. Ew. You know what? If you don't listen to your mommies and daddies or your teachers, you know, all those people we talked about, then sometimes you get in some pretty stinky situations. Yeah. That's why it's important that we listen, because Jonah got himself into a bad situation, didn't he? But he prayed and he said, okay, God, if you get me out of this bad situation, I'll go to Nineveh. And so, you guys know what happened, don't you? What happened?
He spit out Jonah.
He spit out Jonah, and Jonah, then he went to Nineveh, right?
Yeah, that's Nineveh.
That's Nineveh. Yes, and so he finally obeyed, and he went to Nineveh. He didn't argue anymore. He obeyed, and he went straight to Nineveh. And he talked to him and told him that they needed to change what they were doing. So, is it a good idea to listen to God?
Yes.
Yes. Do we need to follow his directions?
Yes.
Do we need to listen to mommies and daddies and teachers?
Yes.
Yeah. Is a whale going to eat us if we don't listen?
Yes.
Well, probably not. But some other bad things could happen, because you know what the Bible says? It says that we can, if we disobey, we open the door to the devil.
But
Did
when
you
the
know
bad guy comes,
Yeah, the devil's the bad guy, and he's coming to. He
you
doesn't.
want me to tell the story real quick?
No, I don't. I want you to listen to my story. So we don't want to open the door to the devil by disobeying like Jonah did. We want to obey and stay on God's side, right?
And
And
There's
Jesus.
another prophet too.
There's another prophet. Maybe next time we
It's
can talk about
Elijah.
the other prophets. Oh, Elijah. Yeah, he was another prophet. Maybe next time we can talk about him. Before we end, guys, let's look at the camera and let's say all together. Let's say, I am going to obey God.
I am going to obey God.
And I'm going to stay on God's plan.
I'm going to stay on God's plan.
Look up there. Tell all the kids that are watching. Say, I'm going to obey God.
I'm going to obey God.
And I'm going to listen.
And I'm going to listen.
And I'm going to keep my door shut to the devil.
I'm going to keep my door shut to the devil.
And I'm going to live for Jesus.
And I'm going to live for